Oh, sure. Thank you. All right. So then we talked about our gathered here. So wait. So let me understand this. Okay. So we're going to do the gathered here, and then before we go to the directions of the compass, we'll do the
No, this is going to be after all the directions. It's going to go south, north, east, west, and then center. And that's when we're going to say 10, 10 for the centers, very end.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Good. All
Perfect.
right. So then 10,
Yep.
8. Oh, 8.
1008.
1008. Sorry. Don't get you confused.
Sorry. No, I didn't mean to correct you or anything.
Some of us need more direction than others. Hey.
And this might be a little too long, but
We can just do numbers. I mean, we've got plenty of gathered here.
oh, and I have to go back and Dakota.
Really? Oh, okay, I see. We might should let them know
Yeah.
about, okay, we're gonna sing it all the way through, we're gonna start with the child's lighting,
Right.
then I'm gonna go to
And just come straight up here and then come straight here.
Yeah. Right.
page,
Yes.
and then we're gonna go to the last verse, we're gonna see that.
Yes. I think that would be very helpful.
Yeah, I do too. Okay, I just have to say special directions. Special directions. All good.
So we're gonna just do the first verse, but with the hold up.
Yeah,
Yeah. Perfect.
And then after you do that,
okay, I got you.
Perfect. Thank you
Good.
so much. Yeah. Thank you.
All I can say is konnichiwa. How do I say thank you?
Arigato. Arigato.
Arigato.
Yeah.
I gotta learn. What's up, mister?
Nothing much. Test 1, 2. Test.
I can do that too if you'd like, but it's no big deal. All good. I'm gonna try.
Test 1, 2. Test 1. Oh.
you're going to, by that time, I might just be here waiting for you to finish. Then I'm going to step away and you just come right up here. And it'll be right. See where it says chalice lighting? So that's you. That's me, actually. That's me. I will have read that. Okay, here we go. It says adjust the mic because I'm shorter than you. So if it's down here, you may want to go up. We just want it right at your mouth level. You've done this before.
Yeah.
You know. And then you're going to start right here. You read this, you got to turn the page. And finish. And then when you finish, don't forget to come down here and introduce the hymn.
All right.
And then you're done.
All right.
You can just go sit down. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right? Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. All right.
And then those. Good morning. I'm going to make a quick announcement here before the service. Yeah, we're very live. We've had fun with karaoke this morning. We won't be able to do that every Sunday unless you come like little windows of time between the classes. But anyway, we had a great time, and we look forward to having a full house on the 20th. There's an RSVP form. I think it's green this week. It's either green or blue. It's Green? Okay, and, or you can do the QR code that's on the full page insert too, either one. The green sheets can go in a little bin out here on the welcome desk, or at the library desk rather. And we would like to know if you're coming, even if you're not planning to karaoke, if you're just going to be a cheerleader for those who do. Because we're going to have some games going on, and we just want to be prepared with everything. If you have a snack that you'd like to bring, sweet or savory, to share, and we will provide the beverages. So plan to be here on the 20th. We start at 7 o'clock, right, Yuki? 7 o'clock. And it's going to be great, great fun. You got a little preview this morning, and we'll see you there. Thanks.
Good morning. We want to welcome you to Westside Unitarian Universalist Church, where compassion leads us to work for justice and equality. We are really glad you're visiting with us today or are here with us today as a member, and it's my hope that you will find something here that nourishes your heart, feeds your mind, and grows your spirit. I'm Carol Kappa, and I'll be your worship associate this morning for this morning's service. And I have just 4 words for you today. How about them pancakes? All right, I hope you all came in time for it. If you didn't and you missed it, I'm so sorry, but plan on it next year. It was a great gathering. I got here what I thought was almost on time. The fellowship hall was full, and everybody was eating all their pancakes, so you all were ready. So be you a spiritual seeker, an atheist, or a theist, Westside is a community of many beliefs, genders, and sexualities. We're a community of diverse cultural and racial and class backgrounds, and a community of varied abilities and gifts. Some people here find inspiration in the great books, others in the great outdoors, and others still in great conversations. But whoever you may be, all of us are welcome in our inclusive congregation, and so to newcomers and longtime friends alike, we say, welcome. At Westside, we're raising the next generation of Unitarian Universalists. We want them to know that they are an important part of our community. And so several years ago, we chose to include all family members in our services. So welcome to children and youth of all ages. There are a lot of announcements, as usual, inserts in your order of service. We want you to take them home and refer to them throughout the week. I know you all can read and so forth, so we're glad that you'll have these to remind you, but I wanted to call your attention to 2 things that are coming up before next Sunday. Next Sunday morning is a thing we're going to try at 9:30 here in the sanctuary. Come on in and we'll teach you. We're going to learn a new hymn, and Linda Ice will be leading us here. And we'll practice singing that, and then perhaps we'll be singing it during the service then. So we don't have a choir meeting regularly, but Linda's willing to spend some time with us, and we'll get a chance to enjoy that time together and sing. So next Sunday, 9:30 here. Also tonight is something that's happening. If you're an outdoorsy person, likes to hike, they'll be having the hike and that's in your order of service at 6:45 at Oakmont Park. Bel Air Drive, 7000 Bel Air Drive. Meet there to have a hike tonight. We have a large number of visitors at Westside recently, and we welcome each of you to our community. Becoming a member at Westside is very simple. It just simply requires the signing of our membership book. But while joining is easy, there are responsibilities of membership here. And to learn more about our congregation and our beliefs, please feel free to ask questions of those with whom you are in conversation with after the service in the fellowship hall during our coffee hour, or members of our welcome team that are out here before the service, or by contacting our minister in training, Tanner Trask. Now, we are looking forward to the Exploring Westside Lunch and Learn after church today. So you might have gotten breakfast this morning and then lunch this afternoon. We'll take care of you. This is going to be held in the glass classroom directly behind here after the service. This event is for newcomers who want to learn more about our church. If you are interested in attending, but you did not get a chance to RSVP, please speak with Sue Anderson after the service. Sue, are you here? Can you stand for just a minute? Yeah, just see Sue if you would like to stay. All right, and for those of you who are joining us or visiting us, if you're online today or visiting with us here in person, if you are not already on our mailing list, please sign up by clicking the link at the bottom of our westsideuu.org website. And for those of you who are here in person, at this time, please take a moment to silence all of your devices. This morning, our reflection is being given. It's called The Joy of Mystery, and it'll be shared by our guest speaker, Matt Hall. And he is an ordained Baptist pastor in association with the Cooperative Baptist Fellowship of Texas and an associate for welcoming and affirming Baptists. He's a graduate of Bright Divinity School, and he works in the nonprofit space advocating for public education investment in the Texas legislature. The readings and meditation today are centered around water, and this time of year we call ingathering, as our beloved community returns to worship together after a time of being apart over the last several months. I hope you'll be encouraged by the service today. Now, I invite you to take a deep breath. And from wherever you are, settle into this sacred space that we create. And let us worship together as we listen to this morning's prelude, Castle in the Sky, by Joe Hisachi, performed by Dr. Yuki Kumamoto. As do many Unitarian Universalist congregations, we begin our time together this morning with the lighting of a chalice. I'd like to invite Mateo Sesto to light our chalice this morning. The chalice is a symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith and represents the Unitarian Universalist Association, or the UUA. The flaming chalice symbolizes the heritage of our past, the warmth of our community, and the light of hope within this church today.
Our chalice lighting words this morning are "The Spirit of Water" by Katie Siavani Gelfand. We light this chalice as a symbol of reunion. We reunite in this sanctuary to share the flow of our hearts with one another. We gather together in ritual to celebrate our fountains of joy, to hold each other through storms of grief, to guide one another through rapids of transformation, to rest together on ponds of stillness. Together, we honor the Spirit of Water, its many forms, and its life-giving essence. Our opening hymn is number 42, "Morning So Fair to See," in your gray hymnal. Please stand if you are able and are so moved, and join our song leader, Sue Spell.
Good morning. So this is the same tune as Ferris, Lord Jesus, if you're familiar with that. Two verses, first and second. Morning so fair to see, lies veiled in mystery. Glorious the earth and resplendent skies. Pilgrims we march along, singing our joyous songs through an earthly paradise. Tall are the verdant trees, deep are the flashing seas, glorious each wonderful season's bring. Brighter is space when eyes shining in pilgrim eyes, which awakens spirits spring. Thank you so much. Y'all sound lovely.
Please remain standing and join me in our affirmation. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to work for justice through action, to serve others in community, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with creation. Thus do we covenant with one another. You may be seated. I guess I got so excited about the service I forgot to do the opening words this morning, which I'm going to do right now before Nikki comes through. They're too good to miss. It's called Learning to Love This World by the Reverend Dr. Molly Hoosh Gordon. We gathered together this morning tenderly, like drops of dew on a leaf of grass, hopefully like gathered raindrops in a cloud, gleefully like water rushing in a stream to the sea, and deeply like groundwater pulled up from a well. We gather from every direction for another year of growth and depth, another year of compassion and hope, another year of learning to love this world. We gather like the water that joins us across all of creation, the water that connects us within and without, merging and flowing across the entire world. And now, please come forward if you are young at heart or would like to have a close-up view of our Time for All Ages, presented by our Director of Lifetime Religious Education, none other than the unmistakable and very exciting Nikki Kennedy. And afterwards, we will sing the children back to their seats with number 414 as we leave this friendly place in your gray hymnal.
Good morning. I love to see all your faces today, but you know what my favorite part of today was, or has been thus far? It is not over. Watching all the syrup getting poured on the pancakes. Your syrup spilled? Well, guess what? I know where some more syrup is, so have no fear. And I also know you know how to clean it up, so I know you'll help us clean it up. So one of my favorite things that we do when we gather in our classes with our children and our youth is that we do a check-in. And we get to do lots of different ways. Sometimes it's verbal, sometimes it's nonverbal, with a thumbs up, thumbs to the middle, or a thumbs down. Sometimes it's verbal. And one of my favorite things to ask people is to share their rose, their thorn, and their bud. So we all know what I'm talking about. A rose is something that's bloomed, something that's happened, something that was beautiful, right? A thorn is a oops, or or a low, maybe. That's another word some people will use. And oh man, that's exactly right. And then a bud is something that's coming, right? Something that hasn't quite come to fruition yet, that hasn't quite happened. We're all on the same page? So, okay, cool. I like the thumbs up. So yesterday, when we were doing our teacher training, we checked in with each other with a rose, a thorn, and a bud. And my bud yesterday was to be here this morning with all of you guys, to have pancakes and sausage and smiles and meet new people and to fill our bellies with food and our hearts with joy and love in this community. I was very excited. Even though I'm not a good morning person, I still woke up extra early. And I was here when we got things started, and after a few minutes, I could smell the sausage, and I could smell the pancakes going that our youth and our kiddos, by the way, our youth and kiddos did the pancakes this morning, and I could smell it all, and I could hear the giggles, and I could see the coffee being poured, and I was like, yes! But what happened in between all that was a little crazy. I got to church, I forgot the pans for the pancakes, so back home I went. And then I got to church and I spilled my entire cup of coffee. Nobody saw it. I know, it's a good thing we have more coffee here. But I cleaned it up. And I was like, man, but at least I got to clean it up. And then I tripped. And I ate it. And I had to laugh. I'm fine, don't worry. And I had to laugh because, sometimes things don't go as planned, do they? But it doesn't mean there's not beauty in that. And so, just a second, Cadence. And so, I loved seeing how everybody worked together this morning. People came and they chopped fruit, and they mixed batter, and they learned how to use a griddle. And we learned to make sure to put griddles on different outlets so we didn't blow any circuits. And we've had fun, and now we get to be in the service together, and then after this, there's a lunch and learn. So the day has just begun, right? So things probably won't all go as I had planned today, and that's okay. The thing that's beautiful about this community is that we meet each other where we are. We give grace. We accept each other as we come. We continue to love through everything. Things won't always go as planned. Has anybody ever had something not go as planned? Maybe it was just getting here this morning, right? Sometimes things just don't go as planned. But in this place, we offer grace and we offer love, and love is truly what's at the center. And I hope you guys can all remember that when you come here, things have been hard, things have been rough, but this place is going to offer you love. We're going to offer you grace, and we're going to offer smiles. Now, we won't always have pancakes, but we will always have coffee for you. And I hope when you guys come here, and as you continue your weeks, you know that things may not always go as planned, but that's okay. So today, I think my rose is going to be the pancake breakfast, because it's already happened, right? So may your rose and buds be amazing, and may you continue to share them all with us as you continue in this new year. And I'm glad to see you guys all, and I hope to see you again next week. Thank you. Yeah, what? That's from the glue on the floor. It's splattered. It won't come off my pan.
Thank you.
Good morning again. I'm one of the pastoral care team associates here at Westside as well. And in our community here at Westside, we make time each week to share pieces of our lives with one another. And we do this because each person in this community has value. Members of our team can be identified wearing a pastoral team care badge, and we ask you to please submit your joys and concerns to the team by completing one of the orange forms, which I left at my seat. So you'll find these orange forms right outside the door here at the welcome desk. When you come in any Sunday morning, you're welcome to fill one out and leave it there. Or you can send an email to us during the week at pastoralcare at uu.org, pastoralcare@westsideuu.org. Or you can contact any member of the team. We have several members of the team here this morning. They are Jane Hardwick, John Fisher, Barbara Garland, Lisa Franey, and Barbara Crotty. Would you all please stand so that our newcomers and visitors can see who you are? Thank you very much. So those are the folks you can contact if you have anything you need to share. Somebody that maybe needs a visit or is in the hospital, is sick, or some special circumstance you want to let us know about. We share our concerns with one another today, knowing that sorrows come into each person's life, knowing that together we offer comfort. As I read your concern, would you please raise your hand or stand just to let us know who you are? The concern is from Tiffany Manigault, and she's right here in the front row. And she says, and those of you who know her, and you've met her mom has often visited here with us. She says, my mom fell last Monday, hitting her head, which left a cut and required stitches. She was released the next day from the hospital after overnight observation. She is back home, and all vitals are stable. Her appetite is strong, and sense of humor is intact. Please keep her in your thoughts. She misses Westside and looks forward to returning soon. We wish her all the best. We also share our joys with one another, knowing too that joy comes into our lives, knowing that together our voices can rise in a chorus of celebration. And again, please rise or stand and raise your hand so we can know who you are. This joy is from Roxanne and Susie. I think they're here. They're right in the front. Saturday, September 13th, that's next week, from 9 to 3 is the Trinity River Book Festival at Trinity Park Pavilion number 1 on 7th Street. The 5K run, walk, and 1 mile fun run walk is still open for registration, celebrating National Literacy Month. We make space each week for musical centering, knowing the life and experience of every person matters, and together our lights shine brighter. As we hold all these joys and concerns among us, both those spoken and unspoken, we're going to sing together number 389, Gathered Here in the Gray Hymnal, and please keep it handy because we're going to be referring to that song again during the meditation.
Yes, this is going to be our best buddy today. Gathered here in this reality hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit strong here.
Good morning. My name is Jana Kennard, and I'm one of the meditation leaders here at Westside. And we're going to do something a little different for meditation this morning because it's our in-gathering service. And typically in the past, we have invited people to bring water from, it could even be from your kitchen sink or somewhere you've been over the summer or somewhere special to you. But we are going to do it a little differently today. So I do ask if people did bring their water to, after the service, go out to our garden and find just maybe your favorite spot in the garden and use it to water one of our plants out there. So, but today, I invite you to relax your mind and body and join me in an in-gathering ritual with the calling of directions by the Reverend Dr. Jane Altman Page. So this morning, we will gather in energy and love from all directions. So your responsive call is the Gathered Here chant that we just sang, so it's here with you. And some of you will participate perhaps in a more metaphysical sense, and for others, your participation may be more metaphorical. And that is fine, because for here, we are Unitarian Universalists, and we are people of open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands. So if you wish, please rise in body or spirit and face with me the east. And am I still mic'd? Yes. So we are facing east. And I just realized my book is attached, so I am going to face y'all. Sorry, I did not think of that part. But please rise in body or spirit and face the east. And we call out to the powers of the east, representing air and the radiance of dawn. I invite you to think of places to the east of where you have lived or visited, perhaps places across the Ogeechee River or across the great Atlantic Ocean. And I invite you to lift to your mind friends and family who live east of here and call on those memories of time with them and their spirits of life and love to be here with us today. If you wish, you may lift their names into this sanctuary before we sing. Or you can do it in your mind. And let's sing Gathered Here. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gather here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Now I invite you to face the south, so that's toward our beautiful garden. As we call on the powers of fire that the South represents, we lament the polluting of the great Gulf of Mexico that lies to the south and have heard the cries of our Mother Earth. We are also thankful that with the good energies of loving people and the powers of nature, those beautiful waters are clearing again. And I ask you to think of places to the south of us where you have lived or visited. I invite you to lift to your mind friends and family who live south of here and call on those memories of times with them and their spirits of life and love to be here with us today. If you're so moved, you may lift their names into the sanctuary. And let's sing Gathered Here. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. I now invite you to face the west, which is toward our clock. We call out to the powers of the West, the power of water. We envision wonderful bodies of water to the west, many that we may have visited or hope to visit, and I encourage you to think of them as well as other places you have lived or visited. I invite you also to lift to your mind friends and family who live west of here and call on those memories of times with them and their spirits of life and love to be here with us today. You may lift their names into the sanctuary. Melody. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one small body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. And now I invite you to face the north, which is toward our beautiful front welcoming door. I invite you to face the north as we call out to the powers of the north, the powers of the mighty earth, the power of stone and mountain, and the north is home to water also, including the Arctic Ocean, with ice melting and warning us that we must not wait to change our ways. I encourage you to think of places north of us where you have lived or visited, and I invite you to lift to your mind friends and family who live north of here, and call on those memories of times with them and their spirits of life and love to be here with us today. You may lift their names into the sanctuary. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the spirit and the power, Spirit draw near. And finally, I invite you to turn to the center, home of the Spirit. And in this special place, I invite you to lift to your mind friends and family. Y'all know I'm going to cry sooner or later. Friends and family members who have died, leaving us with gracious memories and, of course, their love. And I invite you to call on those memories of times with them and their spirits of life and love to be here with us today. You may lift their names into the sanctuary. And one last time, let's sing Gathered Here for them. Gathered here in the mystery of the power, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. And as you continue to face the center, please join me in giving thanks to our four directions and to the spirits with us by getting your teal hymnal now, and we're just singing one more verse, number 1010, We Give Thanks.
Okay, this one's a little bit tricky. We're going to sing it the first two pages, as you see, and the third page. Where's the coda? Isn't there a coda? So the second time, well, we go just the one verse. Okay, so
Yeah,
we're just going to
we'll
go
just
through it once. Sorry.
No, that is A-okay. We did not practice this song, I promise. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for our gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. And you may be seated. And now may we be good company to one another in our questions and our journey. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen.
Thank you, Jana, for that meaningful meditation today. And thank you all for participating. Here at Westside, we practice our UU faith in a variety of ways, and one of those is by giving 100% of our gifts to our weekly collection, unless otherwise designated, to support organizations who carry out our transcendent values of compassion, justice, and equality. Westside's plate offering for the month of September is Building Pathways. It's a Tarrant County nonprofit, and it is dedicated to transforming lives and communities by providing opportunities within the construction industry. Building Pathways works to increase retention in construction by empowering individuals with both trade and life skills through its comprehensive 12-month Pathway Growth Program led by Pathway coaches, some of whom are program graduates themselves. It seeks to help participants thrive in their careers and personal lives by focusing on empowerment, economic mobility, accountability, and long-term retention. Building Pathways clients are high school students and young adults. The clients or apprentices come from underserved backgrounds who have encountered systemic barriers such as poverty, unstable housing, or experiences within the foster care or juvenile justice systems. Workers in training this summer helped renovate an elementary school. They are paid by the construction company. Plus, Building Pathways adds to that wage and provides needed resources such as a monthly transportation stipend. Also, this summer, one of Building Pathways' female graduates has been promoted to field engineer in training in her new construction career. The executive director has stated that Building Pathways is a beacon of hope, offering guidance and support to its apprentices as they embark on their journey to a brighter future. We build more than just careers. We build lives and communities. So let's put our UU shared values into practice by giving generously as you're able this morning. If you're giving towards your stewardship pledge in cash, please use the envelopes at the bottom of the bowl that is passed. And now, let us enjoy our musical offering of Levels by Robert Glasper and performed by Yuki Kumamoto. We thank you so much for putting into practice the spiritual virtue of generosity. Our giving connects us to the wider web of our community. And thank you also for keeping your stewardship commitment current in order to keep our congregation's important work going.
Good morning, friends. So I'll start by saying one of the beautiful things of this month's Soul Matters theme, this idea of a sense of belonging and building belonging and architecting belonging, is getting to wrestle with what that means in our own faith walks. Some of you who know me know, but through marriage, my wife's side of the family, their surname is Qadri, which is related to the Al-Qadariya school of Sufist theology. So being a Baptist, married into a family with deep roots in Sufism, it shouldn't surprise you. I know a thing or two about Rumi, and I can work myself through a couple of his poems. I would like to share a couple with you today, but as I do, I just acknowledge when we think about the sense of belonging that we want to cultivate as a community and how important it is to gleefully run toward mystery and the unknown in building that, I'm reminded about the stole that I'm wearing right now. So I am only about 11 months into my ordination, not quite a year yet of being Reverend Hall. I have not yet been defrocked yet, but in celebration of that, a artisan from my wife's tribe, my wife, those who know, is Amazigh, or Berber, the indigenous folks of North Africa. A Moroccan artisan from her tribe made a set of liturgical stoles for me. As a Baptist, I'm not really good at keeping to the liturgical stole calendar of which color I should wear. I usually pick it based on what I think is pretty. But I'm reminded that it was hands from a different experience, a different walk, and frankly, a different faith that beautifully wove together one of the most ancient identifiers of my Christian faith. And so with that, 2 poems by Rumi. Do you know what you are? You are a manuscript of a divine letter. You are a mirror reflecting a noble face. This universe is not outside of you. Look inside yourself. Everything that you want, you are already. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Friends, one of my earliest memories as a child is around the age of 4, about to turn 5. This is the early 90s. My family had taken a summer trip to Galveston for the first time. It was going to be my first time at a beach. This would become something of a summer ritual for a few years in our lives before my mom went back to college. I just remember that first summer really, really well. The salt smell in the air, that felt very different than what I was used to at home. The palm tree leaf that I fell in love with and convinced my parents to take back with us to Everman. But one of the most impactful memories is one that's become fuzzy with me, like a worn VHS tape. I remember less the exact scene, but more of how it felt. Standing at water's edge, the waves just touching my small feet, looking out into the distance at fishing boats and a docked cruise ship. I imagine my toes underwater, connected to this outstretched ocean, yawning deep beyond what I could understand. And small as I was, I felt even smaller. But I remember it wasn't scary, it was exciting. It's kind of surprising now as an adult, but my feeling then was this just desire to be out there with it all, if that makes sense, to be on those boats or to see what was under the water. Well over 30 years later, I wonder if that feeling ever really left or if it's just kind of embedded as a core memory, like in that Pixar movie Inside Out. Like, I think many of us, the pool of the unknown has had its own imprint on my life, like a gravity well drawing some comet out of orbit. That desire we feel sometimes to wade into something bigger than us, to sit at the edge of some gap of understanding. As a younger man, that meant kind of trying to live as much adventure as I could, but now, and as a man now, just reaching middle age and just finished seminary, I feel that sense of adventure still. The inflection points that arise in our lives often come at a fork in the road, and invariably, when mystery and certainty compete, at least for me, mystery nearly always wins out. Seeing a few folks nodding right now, I can tell that's been a shared experience. So then, why are we drawn to mystery? What in our human nature or in the divine draws us there? Well, if we wanted to be simplistic, we could just chalk it up to instinctive curiosity, right? Babies and toddlers are curious. It's a time-tested instinct born from the earliest formative periods of our species. Cradled together in the dark of before written history, we didn't know much about the world beyond our immediate surroundings, did we? Our relationship with the unknown, then, was maybe one that could be seen as adversarial. Information gathering was a matter of survival in those days. The less mystery, the safer we might be. The more that is known, the better our species' chance at avoiding extinction in the great game of nature. Let's fight to contain the unknown to the margin of our lives, make it smaller and us bigger. Psychologists can tell you that this type of relationship with the unknown continues to play out today, even as people in the internet age seek information that provides some sense of certainty in the face of chaos. While we seek out mystery, it's often because we're uncomfortable with ambiguity. In clinical terms, it's called ambiguity intolerance. And all of us do exhibit it to a certain degree because it relates to those instincts for survival. It was perhaps necessary in our species' early history to be able to quickly identify and categorize known and unknown and recognize potential dangers. And that's remained with us. It has perhaps not updated for modern times when there is no mastodon at the end of the dark hedge of a forest. But when we're torn between alternatives and remain confused, it can be detrimental. We often have a physiological as well as a psychological response as our adrenal glands and other systems respond to the stimulus, and we can overreact and cascade into anxiety. Something I find very interesting is that research shows that the type of ambiguity we encounter doesn't change our body's response. Whether it's just a little itty-bitty stress point or the big cosmic questions about the meaning of life, our response is nearly the same. I think in this moment, particularly at this time in our national hour, that desire to know and to conform, to create boxes that, if we're honest, none of us fit, right? We see that instinct playing out in our own national discourse today, don't we? We see that playing out in my own tradition. This is old. It's important to at least understand where that instinct may be coming from, at least in terms of social science and behavioral science. If you were hoping that, if you had ever expected you would hear a Baptist preacher talk about behavioral science in a sermon, you can check that box off your bucket list. I was a middle school science teacher before I was ever a man of the cloth, so that's really fun. One could be forgiven for thinking that this is the only relationship then we can have with mystery. But our recent increased scientific knowledge could just be argued then as a stress response to the unknown. We have explored and mapped out most of our planet, and through science, we have probed the wonders of the universe from the subatomic world to the most distant stars, realms that can only be seen in the mind's eye or with technology. We've discovered scientific explanations for many of the phenomena that our ancestors attributed once to the supernatural. We now have natural explanations not only for the evolution of humankind, but even the origins of the universe itself. On the map of human understanding, those metaphorical dragons keep getting pushed farther and farther to the edges of our cumulative knowledge as we chip away at the boundaries of what is not known. And yet, somehow, definitive answers, undeniable certainty, seem to always lie just beyond our reach, doesn't it? Just when we think we figured it all out, along comes something like quantum mechanics, or the theory of general relativity, or dark matter and energy, and we have to reevaluate almost everything we thought we knew. The fundamental reality of space and time and all creation seems to be unraveling in beautiful and strange ways. And the more we learn, the weirder it gets. It seems like every article we could read about the latest discovery about our universe is more bizarre than the last. In attacking the unknown responds back in kind. It's no wonder that I tell people that my background as a middle school science teacher has played a big part in my own theological journey. Like ghostly particles at the heart of physical reality, those mysterious dragons just keep popping up, and we are forced to admit that there may be limits on what can be known or knowable from the human perception. And that's why, friends, our relationship with mystery isn't and can't just be some adversarial war of attrition. Going back to that beach decades ago, or back elsewhere, it wasn't a desire for safety that drove me, or I think that drives any of us when we are drawn to what we don't know. How many times in our history have we beckoned to the mysteries of creation in ways that defied security? Building the first submarines, landing on the moon, there's something more there. An at times unconscious, joyful reaching for something. It's there, I think, where we find the beginning of something closer to our relationship with the unknown and our sense of belonging and abiding with it. That fearful response to mystery, that knee-jerk instinct that we have, it can also be connected to our own mortality. In my own tradition, we would say, "You are dust, and to dust you shall return." The desire to preserve this life and identity as we understand it is strong. But if that was all that was there, it would make sense that ours is a relationship of separateness from things beyond the horizon. And yet there has to be something more. I'm the son of generations of Texas Baptists. I am not the only pastor in my family's legacy. And on the face of things, I should have little in common with the daughter of a family of North African Sufi Sunni clerics. I'm the inheritor of a young tradition, less than 200 years old in terms of statehood, if that is where we want to start things. She is the inheritor of a history and a tradition that was ancient before Rome was founded. Oceans, time, culture, faiths, these can confuse us with the premise that we are separate things to each other and to creation. Except the iron that flows in both her veins and mine were forged in the furnace of dead stars eons ago, the same dead stars eons ago. The fundamental elements that compose us were once formed together in the firmament of the beginning of all things. Our marriage together is a love letter written to the truth that Rumi wrote centuries ago in today's poems, that we are connected to one another and to things beyond our own reckoning. So at the heart of our hunger to explore the mysterious and make space for things and backgrounds and stories that are not ours, you find something beautiful. The real motivation that draws us to touch the face of the unknown, to open the door to the stranger, to look in the eyes of someone and see yourself. It's the joy of the universe reacquainting with itself and learning its own depths, us discovering ourselves. So how do we explore this joyful relationship? The experiences of life, love, suffering, happiness, grief, and so on, they can be awkward, to speak solely through the language of science. Take it from me. Not great, just to talk like a middle school science teacher. But they're at the heart of poetry, and they are especially at the heart of our faith, whatever that journey may be taking you on. Spiritual and faith language, in my tradition we would say God language, gives us a means to express our feelings of awe and wonder, as well as our anxiety about life's purpose and what, if anything, comes after. It is an ambiguous vocabulary, though, because it must be. As one fellow Christian once said, we keep using the word God as if everybody has consensus over what it meant. Just imagine if we tried to define something like God in this room once and for all. Do you think we could ever reach consensus? You'd be shocked to know I certainly have my opinion. And yet there are dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of opinions in this space. My faith walk informs me, as it must in this space that represents many faiths. We could debate the nuances forever without proving any point, and you would miss your lunch and learn. Bless you. It is the proactive search for truth and meaning that we have to embrace and give one another space for. This means our faith journey is an inherently creative process. It isn't the time or space for me to share mine, but I will tell you, I came to my faith walk and I came to my Christian faith authentically, voluntarily. That is why I hold it and walk that journey. We need not create boxes that constrain one another to encounter what we don't understand. When, even well-intentioned, we don't give one another the space to encounter the mysterious, to explore our faith, or attempt to compel someone to walk a certain path by setting up guardrails, either here in faith spaces, or let's say through the instruments of the state, you are not permitting somebody to develop an authentic faith. You're also, much like a child making a sandcastle at the edge of a tide, creating barriers that the universe will find a way to simply wash away. as each of us finds the path that allows our own exuberant dance with the unknown, it's important to remember that we are part of that mystery we aim to encounter. We ourselves may become the next frontier along that shoreline. The joy in mystery, then, is a kind of freedom. The freedom to explore, believe, hold faith, and yes, also to doubt and to question. To compel a confession denies the ability of someone to be able to have that authentic journey. Why, when we're thinking about building belonging, making space for freedom of conscience is critical in our ability to journey with the mysterious and abide with it constructively. Like the process of evolution itself, the path of encountering mystery that we follow isn't easy or simple. It's not without dead ends or disappointments. It doesn't guarantee that all of our conclusions will be final or that we will find an answer to all our questions. But also, like the process of evolution, it is filled with great expressions of beauty and awe that sometimes come as an unexpected grace. We don't know what's found in those deep waters as we approach them, but we can rejoice in the possibilities. And when that most sacred mystery reveals more of itself along our spiritual journey, sometimes in surprising ways, maybe we should boldly stare back and admire its beauty. Or even better, let the mystery wash over us. As I close, I reflect on the ways in which we are often invited to give witness through our actions. Most of my work is not in front of a pulpit. Like some members of the clergy, I am what you call bivocational. And most of my time during the week is spent in secular halls of power advocating for funding for public education, often having to make peace with that I don't necessarily know where every step is going to take me, or the advocates that I hope to invite into that space. These opportunities to give witness through our actions seem to grow in number as I learn, and I think as each of us learn and unlearn more about ourselves during our encounters with the unknown. The more I think I have figured out, the more it seems in my daily vocation that there is some new frontier that I have to try to chasm. Contemplating the unknown isn't just for inward journeys, but something that adjusts our moral anchor for the actions we take as an active agent in creation. It lends us the moral imagination necessary to see possibilities for a beloved community. Maybe your opportunity is like mine, advocating for a public policy issue. Maybe it's addressing needs right in your own neighborhood. And maybe it's sharing of ourselves with someone who, unknown to us, is being equipped for their own exploration of mystery through the sharing of your own encounters. Your willingness to sit with the stranger, to engage in what the scripture of my faith says or describes as radical hospitality. So today, as we continue to join in fellowship, when we step away from this place, I leave you with one challenge. Think of one opportunity for action you can take now. Reach out to one person to build a new sense of belonging. One work of justice you're being invited to in order to open up new shorelines for others to also have a chance to dip their toes into eternity. Amen and blessed be. Friends, as we rise together in either body or spirit, let us join together in singing our closing hymn for the day, number 1008, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. It is found in your teal hymnal.
Okay, so this is kind of interesting one. I want you to look at 1008 or 1008, when our heart is in a holy place. Okay, so this one is over 3 pages. The first page, you'll see on the second line, it has the 2 lines. That means we'll go back to there. On the top of the other page, you'll see it says, last time to Coda. All right, so we'll sing that page, go to the last page, and you'll see the last line says Coda. So we're going to sing it all the way through once, except for the last line. On the next to the last line, we'll go back and sing it through, and when we get to that last page, we'll sing the coda and be done. I hope you understand it. We'll try it. Some of us do. Oh, yeah, sing. Y'all help me, okay? When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a lonely place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, when our heart is in a holy place. Back to the first page. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a lonely place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy, last page. When our heart is at a lonely place. Wow, y'all were good at reading music. I appreciate that. Thanks.
Thank you, Sue. Good guidance there. Our closing words are All Rivers Run to the Sea by the Reverend Cale Rice. It starts with a drop, then a trickle, a burble, a rush of water, bubbling towards its destination, and finally the wide, endless sea. All rivers run to the sea. Today you came and shared in this sacred community. May you depart this sacred space, hearts filled with hope for new beginnings, a fresh start. Go forth, but return to this community where rivers of tears may be shed, where dry souls are watered, where your joys bubbles, where your life cup overflows, and where deep in your spirit you have found in this place a home. All rivers run to the sea. The chalice is now extinguished, but its light lives on in the minds and hearts and souls of each one of you. Carry that flame with you as you leave this place and share it with those you know, with those you love, and most especially those you have yet to meet. You are all invited to stay after the service today for conversation and coffee in the fellowship hall, or you may exit out this side door if you'd like to go out into the garden area. But please join me now in our congregational closing. Go in peace, seeking Joseph. Go in peace, committed to equal rights and opportunities for all. Go in the peace that is created when together we build communities of true solidarity, deep compassion, and fierce, unrelenting love. Go in peace. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen. Have a great week, y'all.